So, I got to go to my P.O. box. I got to pick some stuff up. But when you know it, I forgot some really important items like, my mask, gloves, that kind of thing. I usually keep that stuff in a jacket, but it's such a beautiful day. I didn't even think about it. I was kind of distracted. Luckily for me, I had some forethought at some point earlier in the previous week, and I put some stuff in my Wazoo cap that should help allow me to do this without having to turn around and go home. So I just wanted to showcase that today, and I hope you'll stick around to watch. All right, so we are here in the parking lot. This is where I go to pick up stuff from my P.O. box. And I don't have any PPE. I have a very specific process that I like to use in order to get stuff out of my P.O. box. And it's not so much that I'm terrified of contracting COVID-19. It's more like I don't want to have to think about whether something was contaminated or not when I finally get in the car. So in order to do that, I need a set of gloves, I need a mask, and I need to have a clean and dirty box that I use for the items. So I'll cut the package open with the dirty gloves, then I'll dump out the contents in the clean box, and then take all the dirty stuff, including the gloves, throw it all away in the trash can, and then come back. So it's kind of a very specific process that I had to come up with, but by the end of it, no matter what I touch on the car, I know my hands are clean, and that's a big part of it. So I just want to show you that, but I can't do that without PPE, right? Well, I put a bunch of stuff in my hat. It's actually in there right now that was going to allow me to do that, even though I forgot my normal PPE gear. So let's take off the hat, lay it out, and let's see what we got. Okay, so I got my Wazoo cap. Yes, I was actually wearing this. Everything in it I always had on my head in the previous shot. So first thing I have is I have a buff, which we're going to be using. I have a Tyvek cup, which we're not going to be using, but it does keep the coffee filters, which we are going to use, nice and clean. So that's what that's for. I also have a pair of latex gloves on one side. We have 2 Purell wipes. And the last thing we're going to need, it's not necessary per se, but I'm going to try this out today for the first time. And we're going to actually make a nose mold with the buff using a little bit of jacketed steel wire. So that's the contents that I put in for this video. And I might as well show. We have tweezers and we have some bobby pins. But basically that's all we're using today to do this video, and I just wanted to lay it all out. So we're going to put it all together. You're going to see how I put it all together to make PPE that we can actually use to go to our P.O. box or pretty much any other tasks we have to go run and do today. All right, so the first step of this, and this is sort of a first trial for doing it this particular way. There's a couple ways to do it, but first thing we're going to do is going to turn our buff inside out. Okay, we're going to slip it on our head inside out like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this wire and we're going to bend it to approximately what we're looking for with the shape of our nose. I'm going to fold in the 2 edges like so. I have a multi-tool on me, but we're just going to do it by hand. Right? Like so, to kind of keep those tips away. And then I'm going to make a V sort of in the middle, like so. Okay, something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm still trying this out. So the goal is to have it shrink around our necks, our nose. So it probably doesn't need to be quite so extreme. That would probably work. And we'll keep it straight till we're sure we know how we're doing it, right? All right, with me so far? So let me take off my glasses. Probably can't see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all the way up past my face. I'm going to put this on where the fold wants to be, and then I'm going to fold it back down on top. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So make sure I can see what I'm doing here. I could technically see through it, but get the idea. Okay, so we're gonna do that. All right, but we're not done yet. I'm gonna fold this, I'm gonna pull the wire up and shape it proper way. It actually works pretty good. Surprised. Actually wasn't sure that was gonna work. But yeah, I'm gonna pull it up, I'm gonna pull it wire. So you can see the internal part of the fabric is actually doing a pretty good job. Now with the coffee filter, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna take one, because I don't want it to be too hard, and I'm gonna use this shape. So I'm gonna slide it up in to the area between the two layers, cover my mouth. This will just give an extra layer of absorption. Remember, the purpose of this mask is not to protect me, it's to protect the people around me from the fact that I could be infected, right? So now I have a wire, which I'm still gonna work on. This isn't exactly the way I want it per se, but the theory is sound, so I wanna work on that for sure. We're gonna put our hat back on. I'm gonna put our glasses back on. Not too bad. I definitely need to get some anti-fog spray for my glasses. Still working on that. And then of course we're gonna put our gloves on, right? So there you go. Now we're gonna do the process of going to our P.O. box, which I described earlier. And yeah, we'll come back and we'll talk about the hat a little bit. So I gotta say, that actually worked obscenely well. The wire has a lot of potential, but not particularly as a round wire. I think I need something flat. But in the meantime, it worked really good. Now, here's the question. What do I do to take this off if I'm trying not to contaminate myself? Well, likely my glasses are contaminated. My hat is probably okay. But you have to reach in under your face, lift, take it off, put it in the dirty bin. Okay? It's not easy to do. And the other thing is, I actually don't have a spare pair of glasses. So what am I gonna do about that? Well, that's what Puro wipes are for. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull out Puro wipe. We're gonna wipe our hands down first. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna wipe down my glasses and everything else. Okay. Do a little bit of that. Anyway, these are just a couple items you could put in the Wazoo cap, right? You could put them in the Wazoo cap. And some of them I actually have in my cap all the time. Or you could do some of these. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an idea of what you could do with the Wazoo cap. It's a pretty amazing piece of equipment. I've been using it for a couple of months and I've certainly adjusted it because of COVID-19. But yeah, it's just very comforting. It's kind of like an airbag for life. It really has a lot of those kind of little things that kind of make, you know, the experience a little more enjoyable. And just want a reminder that this, although it looks very tactical, they have other variations that are very normal looking. And the kind of attention you want to get is going to depend a lot on the hat that you're wearing, whether it's this style or a very clean, normal looking hat. So you can use that to your advantage, just to keep that in mind. And just in this case, you know, I forgot to use my head. I left something at home, right? But at the very least, thankfully, I can use what's on my head.